Here we fucking go! You're listening to Bread and Circuses.
It's like the mob media, for one, is the entire world populated. Like, everybody's on Twitter. Fucking the UK is on Twitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
unfortunately.
With Caleb Salvatore.
Well, they can't. They can't go to the comedy shows because there's a 2-drink minimum, and you can't mix the Percocet you've been stealing from work with liquor.
And Nick Kohler.
There literally be people in the fucking 80s that didn't know that nutting in a girl would make her pregnant.
No one's asked that question. What did those families do to provoke Alex Jones like that?
You know what'll solve all of these racial police protests? A Pepsi.
What the fuck is up, friends? Welcome to Bread and Circuses. We were just talking about gas prices and the hidden gas prices.
That's Caleb's drinking wine straight from the fucking bottle, dude.
Lost my glass. But yeah, so we were talking about the hidden gas price, which is the diesel price, right? Everyone complains like, oh, $4 a gallon, $3.95 a gallon, whatever, for super unleaded gas. What you don't realize is the fact that diesel is over $5 a gallon in the Midwest right now is what's fucking people the most, because that's going to raise the prices of groceries, of pretty much everything.
Semi trucks run on fucking diesel, man. Like,
yeah. Like when the trucking companies like have to raise their prices for transportation and logistics shit, that's when you get double fucked. So yeah, you're already getting screwed by gas being twice what it was a year ago or 2 years ago, and now you have diesel is like 3 times what it was 2 years ago.
Man, you thought housing prices were expensive too? Like all the construction equipment all runs on diesel. Like everything, man. Like every commercial type of vehicle runs on diesel. So $5 a gallon, dude. Shit.
And it's not getting better anytime soon. Nope. So hold the fuck on.
It might get better once fucking Biden's out of office, man. Like, let's just be honest, dude.
I'm not an economist. Maybe we should find one. I wouldn't even know where to look.
I could probably find like one of my fucking professors at school or something. Maybe he'd come on
because from everything I've heard, this inflation that we're seeing right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, if there's some paper that shows I'm wrong, whatever, show me. But from everything I've read, the inflation we're seeing right now is actually from the stimulus packages from the Trump administration.
You think so? No, I've actually
will only get worse once Biden's inflation starts coming in.
I've talked to my economist. I've talked to my economist professors about that, and they don't know yet.
Okay.
The thing is they don't know if it's from the stimulus or if it's from the fucking supply shortages of like 2 years worth of
probably
supply
everything.
And that's what they kind of said. They're like, I don't want to give a definitive answer about it because like economists have to do fucking market studies and they have to study this shit. And honestly, this is probably going to be studied just as much as, maybe not quite as much, but like is going to be studied like the fucking the Great Recession, man, because this is a huge fucking economic this is a huge economic circumstance, like what's going on with this. So I mean, I know economists are going to be fucking probably in a few years they're going to be studying the shit out of this pandemic and everything that goes on with it. And that's kind of what they like kind of unofficially concluded. The ones I talked to were like, it's probably a combination of the both.
Yeah.
But the problem is that like the thing is like usually when you see inflation caused by the government making money, right? It's usually hyperinflation. And every instance we've seen where inflation has got out of hand because of people the government printing off money has been like wheelbarrow bailing fucking cash to the grocery store type shit. You know what I mean? And it's happened recently. It happened in Venezuela not too long ago. Like, you know what I mean? So they're really careful to just be like, oh yeah, it's from the stimulus. It's from the stimulus checks. It's from the stimulus checks. Because it's like,
I don't know if it's from the checks they issued us or if it's from the bailouts they issued like corporations.
The thing is about the bailouts though is that they're going to have to pay those back. Like all the bailouts that they did. Well, I mean, all the bailouts that they did from the fucking Great Recession, dude. Like the government made a ton of fucking money off of it.
Oh, did they just an interest?
Yeah,
Oh,
because they give out those loans. They don't just give them money, dude. They give them interest
in most
on
cases.
those loans. Yeah, on the business loans. Yeah, they're like low interest.
Mm-hmm.
They're like really low interest. That's why all these companies were like fucking trying to take it for expansion, man.
Yeah.
But because it would be stupid for a company to not take like a 4% interest fucking giant ass loan to expand their company. You know what I mean? It's
well, yeah, because they invest it and get a 7% return. You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
But like I said though, the government gets fucking money back for it. So it's not like I know people hate or being like, oh yeah, the fucking government just give all these fucking economic welfare. It's like, well, yes and no, because they
do issue grants though. They do issue grants.
They do issue grants, but I mean they like not like all the money that they give businesses, like the the P2P loan.
PPP had to be paid back.
Yeah, they were all fucking loan money, man. All the pandemic business loan was loans, and they have to pay those back, and they're probably going to because it's not that crazy of like interest for them, you know. What I mean?
Unless you committed fraud with the PPP loan.
I mean, even dude, the fraudsters are probably going to have to pay all that money.
They're going to jail. They'll never be able to pay.
They'll go to jail, but their company will have to pay it back. You know what I mean? Their business entity will have to fucking eat that.
Well, it's like when the fraud was bad. I remember like I knew people that worked like as like frontline bank employees, and it was literally like they were at war with their customers. Like, because I mean, I like you've worked at a bank before too. You take a big enough loss, they just fire you. Like people were literally at war with their customers because they did not know who was trying to rip them off to a point where they would lose their livelihood. And it developed this like level of hatred between employees and customers developed that was unlike anything they had seen before. Like it was $10,000 a pop because I had a friend told me about it, and it was $10,000 a pop, and you had people coming in and they'd be like, so why do you have this $10,000? They wanted to take it all out in cash, of course, because it was fraud. And they'd be like, so why do you have this $10,000 loan? Oh, my friend lent me some money. Wow, you have a nice friend. Not only do they loan you money, they loaned you money through the U.S. Treasury. Like, that was very nice of them.
But you can't just go and buy a U.S. Treasury check, dude. Like, they're issued from the U.S. government for a reason. Like, yeah.
So yeah, I mean that was like it was people were literally like at war with their customers.
Let me give you guys any potential fraudsters some advice too. If you guys are gonna try to fucking defraud the government through fake U.S. Treasury checks,
they will get you.
They will get you because they can confirm if it's a real check by calling a number.
It wasn't the thing with these though is they weren't even checks; they were ACH credits. So it was direct deposits.
Well, you can still call the fucking Treasury and like confirm those. So.
What they did was it was coded to the wrong person. So like it would go to Nick Kohler, but it was coded to like Joe Smith. So it was coded. So that's how they'd figure it out. So yeah, dude, like not only like you're not just doing it through check. That's bad enough. You've got a fraudulent fucking ACH credit going directly to your bank account that's linked to your social security number and address. Do you not think they're going to find you?
Financial crimes will make you a felon.
You will be a felon. Yeah,
you'll go to low security prison probably, but you know
your life's gonna be ruined.
Fucking felon.
Good luck working at Arby's for the rest of your life.
Yeah, dude. They see you're committing fucking like government fucking financial fraud, dude. Like defrauding the U.S. government. Like,
yeah, no one's gonna hire you. Your life's over.
Just roofing the rest of your life, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends. Like, if you're a high level, like what's that dude, Wolf of Wall Street guy, Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, but I mean, he did something so crazy enough that he like goes and is able to talk to people.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Your ass that defrauded the government $10,000 ain't gonna be fucking doing seminars, man. Like you ain't writing a book about that.
No, you will be the most popular guy at the Arby's break room. Like
I met the guy who committed accounting fraud for some fucking. It was like a big scandal that happened in the 90s. It was, I know that they had it. To the trial for the guy that actually that was the face of it. They had that guy on that trial by public or whatever, or that show that was on Netflix.
Huh, I think I heard of it.
I mean, that show's on Netflix. So like if you've watched the trial by public,
if you're willing to pay the $439 a month for Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good show. Like for, people, there's a lot of them galleys out
trial
there.
By media? No.
Trial by media. Yeah.
Okay.
The one I met the guy who for it was some Kentucky like medical company. They basically the ones that started having like rehabilitation in a private like clinic outside of the hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a big deal because like fucking Michael Jordan was like sponsoring it in the 90s, and like it was this big crazy revolution in the healthcare.
They didn't want Magic Johnson.
Well, it was in the 90s, so like he had already retired, you know what I mean?
I was thinking more from the AIDS perspective, but
no, but like because like back in the day, it used to be that the way that the guy was explaining it to me. He was the CFO, by the way, not the CEO. So he was the one that actually cooked the books for the company.
Yeah, he was the fraudster. Sure.
Yeah, well, like yes and no. Like he wasn't the one that ordered it. He was the one that like physically did it. You know what I mean? At the behest of the CEO, which like still makes him guilty, but you know what I mean? Like he
not as guilty.
Yeah, like the other, dude. The thing is the CEO guy got fucking off scot-free, man. He didn't go to jail for it. He went to jail for some other shit, but he didn't go to jail for that. And like, yeah, so they were like, the way he was telling me about it is like it used to be like this, like all like rehabilitation program stuff used to just be in-house in hospitals, and it was a mess. So they privatized it, had it be like its own private, like just rehabilitation like company, and it made a ton of money. And like the way the CFO guy was saying, he was like, dude, I was a millionaire before we fucking committed to accounting fraud. He's like, then I lost all my money for it. It's fucking stupid. I don't know why I did it. Like, I should have just quit and I could have gotten and been fine. You know what I mean? So,
oh shit. Yeah. Dude, that shit, it's like it pays dividends short term, but it always bites you in the ass in the long run. It always, but you always
he
lose
didn't
more
end up
than
going
you gain. They always catch you. Like,
he didn't end up like he did it in like 92, 93, 94. He didn't end up going to prison for it until like 2005.
Right. Well,
so
it's like because I mean, a lot of these guys, like, I mean, think about it like this way: you walk into a gas station and you steal some candy, right? You're probably gonna get away with it. Nothing's gonna happen to you. These guys don't just steal the candy; they fucking rob the delivery truck, and that's where they get fucked. You know
they're not even robbing the delivery truck, dude. They're going straight to the fucking distributor, distributor factory and stealing fucking pallets of it, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, and that's how they get busted because they get
that's
greedy.
what you did, dude. They were writing off. They were cooking the books, so that's an accounting term for making fake reports on like the financial statements for the end of the year, right? And it was making the company look like it was making more money than it was. He actually told me like by the time he like after he had quit, the company was actually paying more money on fake income than it was actually making.
I believe it.
So it's paying more money in taxes than it was actually making. So like, which is pretty stupid. So, well, that was like, so yeah, it was a big mess, and he ended up going to jail for like a couple of years and being a felon, and like,
damn.
Now he does the George Belfort, like he wrote a couple books and like now speaks at fucking public stuff. So it's
damn. Shit,
you're not doing that if you fucking defraud the government for like 10 grand, man. Nobody gives a shit about it.
No. Like I said, man, you're Wendy's or roofing. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't even know if you're working at a big corporate place, like a fast food place, man. Maybe if they're hurt. Maybe if they're hurting for employees that bad, but it's like when you get that fraud on your fucking record, man, they just think they're gonna think you're just gonna be stealing from the cash register.
Yeah, you're a risk of stealing $60 from the cash register. I remember I sat down at a Wendy's one time to eat, like just on a lunch break, and the manager was just chewing into his employees. He was like going over the list of shortages on the cash register, and it was like the last month it was like 27 days they were short money. And he's like, this looks like someone's stealing, and he's doing this in front of the whole lobby, and I'm just like, oh, this is more interesting than the YouTube video I'm watching, so I'm gonna pay attention to this right now.
El Paso is not like Omaha, man. Like the fucking people working at the fast food places around here, like they can still treat them like shit because they know that there's a ton of low skill labor down here, man.
I believe it. No, that's fast food. I don't know, man. I like my thing with fast food employees is like they talk about how they want higher wages, and remember it was the fight for 15. Now it's the fight for like 1,500 an hour. And it's honestly though,
like all like I am like hesitant to use fast food as like the fucking fallback job. Because dude, fast food is fucking hard work, man. Like working in a, like as a guy, like just eating shit from customers all fucking day while also cooking fast food.
Yeah.
Like you want to talk about like a job where you absolutely do not have to think. It's like doing the fucking general construction shit, man.
Yeah.
Where you're moving fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Like that's the fucking the labor that you're not thinking while you're doing. You know what I mean?
So I understand that, and that's why I try not to get agitated with fat. And I've only gotten agitated with fast food employees on like 1 or 2 occasions. And that was because it was at Dunkin' Donuts. I went, and Mia's epileptic, so she can't have caffeine or it could trigger a seizure, right? So I went and I ordered the food, and I asked them at the window, I said decaf. And then after I finished my order, they repeated it to me, and I said yes, and please make sure that drink is decaf. I got to the window. This is decaf, right? Yeah, it's decaf. I take it. I drive home. I look at the fucking label. It's just caffeinated. Like at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm like, no. I asked for that 4 fucking times for a reason. I didn't say it because that was my preference. Like people ask for specific things like that. Typically, they have a reason. You know, like people don't drink decaf coffee because it's fun. You know what I mean? It's the same way. Like what would you do if I had a peanut allergy and you just put peanut butter on because it ain't that big of a deal? Well, now you killed me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sorry, it is a big deal. Do your fucking job or go home. You know,
I know like places like that you can get like almond creamer stuff.
Yeah.
Like my buddy Joe is straight up like allergic to almonds, and if he drinks like almond milk or something, like it'll be like peanuts. Like his throat will swell up, and
you got to get what are the shots called?
The EpiPens or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
I think it's epinephrine. I think they shoot them up with, but
yeah. Well, I'm like, dude, you guys like this is fucking.
I agree. I'll have patience with them, but like
when it's real life consequences, and it's not like my burger had pickles on it when I asked for it not to, you know, that's
at a certain point. Yeah, like at a certain point, you can kind of, you know what I mean. Like I think it goes with like if you explained that story to like a rational person, would they like agree that you were like wrong?
Piss me the fuck off.
I had pissed. You know what I mean?
I had every right to be mad. I was like, look. I'm like, I get that you guys have a lot of people going on, but like coming through here and everything, and it's the morning rush. But when someone asks for something like that specifically to not contain something, they usually have like a medical clinical reason for something like that. I'm like, you guys, like, if she had a fucking seizure because of you, we would be suing you. Like, that's where we'd be at. You would lose your job. You would lose your job. And I would, you know, like, we would have a nice little payday from this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like it's a little thing. Like I know I've got this one chicken tender place that's by my house. That's really good, man. It's like
they fucked up my honey mustard, so I came back with a shotgun.
Not that. No, I know the fucking guy like by his face and his voice and everything. Because like every time I go through there, this dude always forgets my fucking straw, man. So like I've never once been like, yo, like fuck, dude, what the fuck is going on here? Like get mad or anything. Every time I just go through and I see that he's there, I just treat him like a fucking kid. Where I'm like, is there a straw? Okay, where's the straw at? Okay, it's not in here. Okay, can I have my straw then? Okay, thank you.
I've resorted to the same exact thing at Dunkin'. Like I'll pull in and I'll order the decaf, and I've just started saying at the drive-thru, please make sure it is decaf. The person I'm getting this for cannot have caffeine. She will have a seizure if you do not give her decaf. Sorry, my dog just busted open the door. But I'm like, she will have.
Was it Megan or
it was Chihuahua
barged in like.
But I'm like, the person I'm getting this for cannot have caffeine. She will have a seizure if you do not give her decaf.
Some real
and
shit.
I'm like, I lay the fucking gravity of the situation down. I'm not bullshitting with these people. They're obviously too big of fucking retards to figure it out. So I'm just going to spell it out for them. Like, I'm sorry.
That's fine, dude. If they don't want to be treated like kids, like.
Yeah.
Would you rather that, or would you rather people be a fucking dickhead? Do you like?
Right.
You know
yeah.
I mean? Like,
and I don't say it like in a rude tone. Well, it probably sounds kind of rude, but like, sorry, I have an actual reason. You guys fuck it up every other time. So like, I have. Keep raising the minimum wage. Keep raising it because you know what? The Taco Bell kiosk won't come into work still high and fuck my order up. So yeah, let's keep raising it.
Stuff like that is the reason though why like I don't think working in the food industry is like a fucking easy job. You know what I mean? There's like real life consequences to like making the fucking coffee too hot or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's
peanut butter on the sandwich with no peanut butter. You know?
Yeah, exactly, man. That's like, it's not an easy job. Like,
yeah.
And I just like whenever I hear people just be like, oh, well, you could just go work at McDonald's. I'm like, dude, like working at McDonald's is not fucking great, man. Like,
no,
it's not easy, and you're gonna get paid like pretty shit to do a pretty shitty job. Like, You know what I mean? And then people always be like, oh, like we can't find workers for these places. Like, I mean, I know in Omaha, dude, you go to any fucking fast food place anywhere in that fucking city, they've got, we're hiring, like incentives, like every sign there. And I'm like, man, if it was so fucking easy, like why isn't everybody doing this job, man?
Right.
Like,
right. Well, it's because it's a shit job.
It is a shit job, dude.
It doesn't require a lot of thought process, but you know, I mean, like you said, it's more than moving bricks around. But
you know, I mean, I don't even see that it doesn't, because it's like interacting with customers, man. Like,
if you're on the register, maybe, but I mean, if you're
think of it like this, dude. At a fast food restaurant, man, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't just flip burgers. And
Yeah,
and not only that, but they don't only just do one thing at a fast food place. They do fucking everything there.
Yeah.
So it's like they're also like doing the fucking machine work and stuff, like, you know, refilling the fucking machines and stuff like that. Like they're working the fucking drive-through. They're getting fucking yelled at by old white ladies at the drive-through because they thought they said small, but they said medium. You know what I mean? Like that's, I don't know.
I've got a life hack. When I want like buffalo sauce or honey mustard, I pull up to I don't order it at the drive-thru. I pull up to the second window and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Could I get some buffalo sauce? And they'll give it to me and they won't charge me the 60 cents.
Because they just don't care. They
don't give enough of a fuck. So I'm like,
dude, you know what made me laugh is when Taco Bell started making you like say specifically how much fucking like fire sauce you wanted, man.
Oh,
like, I know what it was. I know it's like a company policy that they threw down to try to save money to like limit because like employees that just give you fucking 2 handfuls of fire sauce. It's like, that's awesome, dude.
I'm like, dude, I'm at a Taco Bell. Chances are I'm either too drunk or high to fucking be able to figure that equation out right now.
They'll be like, how many specific packets do you want? I'll fuck it though, man. How much can you fit in your fucking
78.
right hand?
I remember one time we went high as hell to a Taco Bell drive-thru.
Mm-hmm.
In Millard, and I think I was like 21 maybe, and we went and it was like 2:30 in the morning, and so of course they have like 2 employees working, right? And we pull up. I was 21. No, fuck, I was like 20. I don't even think I was 21. So
like, how old am I right now, man?
Dude, fuck, it seems like it was yesterday and it was 6 years ago. Holy shit. But no, so we pulled up. And of course, it's just slow as hell. We were probably in this line for 45 minutes. And the entire time, it was middle of summer, the entire time we sat there on repeat for 45 minutes playing Rollin' by Limp Bizkit with the windows down in the drive-thru.
That's the fucking, like, I'm 19 years old, not in high school anymore. Just
and
fucking around.
They sent one of the employees out and to go tell. She's like, guys, I'm gonna have to ask you to turn your Limp Bizkit down.
They knew it was Limp Bizkit.
And it was like one of my ex-girlfriends from high school. So it was like one of the fucking, I probably said some smart ass remark about, of course you're working at Taco Bell or something.
Oh my god, dude,
I was an asshole. But no, like we just terrorized the Taco Bell drive-thru for the whole night. It's like,
yeah, they have to deal with people like that, dude, all the fucking time.
Just high ass kids. I remember one time we pulled into Burger King 10 minutes before close and ordered 100 chicken nuggets.
Dude, we used to, like, my last meal before I deployed for my first deployment. We and I used to do this all the time, and with my friend from high school, we'd go to McDonald's and get like fucking 30 McDoubles, dude, in one order. Like,
why?
Because we just like to eat fucking a bunch of McDoubles over the course of like 2 days, man.
I would get sick. I would get
it wasn't great, but
ill.
You're like in high school, you know what I mean? So like you're fucking invulnerable.
Oh, your metabolism's fine though. Yeah. Dude, that was like, I think about the shit I used to eat when I was that age. If I were to eat like that now, I would never leave the bathroom. Like I would be on the toilet 3/4 of my day.
I can't even eat like 2 McDoubles without regretting it now.
No, dude, we went to fucking Texas Roadhouse last night, right? And we had fried pickles, and it must have been the sauce and the fried pickles that just sent me to hell this morning.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, it's what time are we recording this? Like 7:50. I'm just now feeling better. Like it was like, I could have eaten, dude. We used to go out to Applebee's and shit when I was younger, and like me and my friends, and we'd get the half price apps and just demolish it. And There ain't no way in hell. I'm good for that once a month, man. Otherwise, and I better do it on a Friday so I have the weekend to recover. Well, it's like,
yeah. Like
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say too, like with the stuff that they put in it anymore, man. You think like with all the fucking COVID stuff, or not? I say COVID, but like all the inflation stuff now going on. Do you think that like fast food places are like putting more horse shit into like their food? You know what I mean, to like keep the prices down? Because like I noticed it with a Chinese restaurant I like to go to, man. Dude, they had like the best General Tso's chicken, and then like all this inflation stuff started hitting about like a month ago. Their fucking sauce is like runnier now and tastes more soy saucy, and like you could tell that they probably changed the recipe because shit was more expensive.
Yeah, they cheaped out on the sauce.
Exactly, and I'm like eating it. I'm like, man, this is not hitting the way it used to.
No.
You know what I mean? So
they got to cut corners somewhere. I had 3 Happiness the other day, and it made me sick.
Really?
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just
I would for something like as sacred as 3 Happiness, dude. I would pay more for 3 Happiness.
And I think that's just my stomach, but because Mia was out of town, so like I never really made when she's out of town, I don't really make an effort to sit down and eat, you know. So like I'll be just making bullshit and like the
bachelor lifestyle. You and Megan just fucking killing beers
and
on
the Chihuahua. Yeah, it's the 3 of us, but yeah, no. So I mean, I ate like dog shit, so it was probably more to do with that. But they actually have raised their prices. It was like $3 more, so that's fine. They're a lot better than the app.
Yeah, that's a different thing going
Express.
To like fucking Panda. Yeah.
So I mean, that I'm willing to pay more for that. I don't know, man. I'm just like, I'm at a point now where fast food's so fucking expensive. It's like you might as well just go sit down and eat and pay the $10 extra anymore.
Literally, because I mean, you'll get better food. You probably feel worse about yourself.
I mean, we know I'm not gonna tip, so like,
you're gonna save $3 on there.
Yeah, we're gonna save some money. We're gonna cut some corners there. Like, obviously, we know I'm not doing.
Dude, speaking of all this stuff going on, man, I think that they announced that like we're officially in a recession now, aren't we?
I've felt the recession for the last 6 months. I don't know, they're a little late
to
the party.
The way this one economist told me about it was like, and a recession is like not just like I mean, there's like an official thing that they have to be like that has to happen for it to be a recession. I think that it's like markets all go down for like more than 3 months or something.
Yeah,
like I'm not sure specifically, but
they keep bragging about all this job growth. I'm like, guys,
fucking that's because dude.
I mean, like they talk about job. There's the economy still recovering from all the lockdowns and stuff. Like jobs are coming back. So, I mean, of course there's going to be job growth. That's like breaking your leg and handing you a crutch and being like, look, you wouldn't be able to walk without me. Like,
it's a fall in GDP for 2 successive quarters, so 6 months.
No, don't worry. Brandon will figure that out.
No, dude, we're not in a recession, man. Everything's fucking fine, man. Oh, yeah. Like,
you listen to fucking the stock bubble's gonna pop though. Like the tech's getting killed right now.
Yeah, I know. We're fucking Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thank God. But no, it's here. I'll pull this fucking article up. I'll share it right now. Here, it's let's see here. Share screen. Yeah, here. Tech giants lose more than $1 trillion in value in 3 trading days. That's fucking crazy. Like, people's retirements are getting slaughtered by this. How would you like to be like 65 years old and about to retire in the next few years?
Well, you know what? Like, they are gonna take a hit, but I mean, like, they've been doing this shit for like 50 years.
Yeah,
and they're still gonna be in the green in their fucking retirement.
Well, and my thing is like what I always tell people is like about the stock. Like, I know a lot of people that like my age. I'm like, dude, why are you worried about the stock market? Like, unless you're trying to do some short-term investment things.
Which is not recommended by anybody like that's smart when it comes to investing.
Right. But like my thing is like, dude, and I'm not an advisor at all by any means. I have no like training or anything to tell, but put your shit in an IRA, like go to Ed Jones or something like that and hire an actual investor.
Even if you go and have like a portfolio of stocks, man, like You should just they don't, dude. Day trading on stocks is like a fucking meme, dude.
Yeah.
Like they don't recommend that you do that. Like
no, that's what people that don't have anything else to do, like people that's retired early do. Like my thing is like put it in a fucking hire an investment banker and just don't worry about it. You're in your 20s. Who gives a shit? Go fucking do worry about other stuff. Stressing out about the stock market, because what I always tell people is like, oh, the stock market's gonna crash. It's gonna crash. Yeah. The stock market is going to crash.
20s because that's the time to buy
that's
into
when you
it.
Buy.
Man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the stock market is going to crash and shit's. And I understand that. Of course, it always does. It has peaks and valleys. That's how it's built. But on the bright side, it's always going to recover. Like when you're looking to retire, I promise the low that it's at right now is not going to be there. You know what I mean? And if it is,
most likely, it's not guaranteed.
The stock market, if the stock market never recovers. Like, guess what? We don't really have a country anymore.
Yeah,
so
then our
fucking
country
cares.
Has collapsed.
The economy's collapsed. Welcome to Mad Max.
The Western, not even our country, like the whole Western financial system has collapsed.
Welcome to Mad Max. Like the new currency is bullets. I hope you saved up. It's like that's what it is. So I'm like, I don't stress about the stock market. Like, it's scary to see the economy take such a big dump, and I feel for people that are right at that retirement age with so much uncertainty right now. But someone our age, man, who cares?
If they're fucking boomers retiring right now and they haven't bought like 4 houses and a huge fucking retirement portfolio,
you got to put it all in your exotic fish market.
They are straight up retarded, and if they are not succeeding in their investment or their investments, it is their fucking fault because the fucking market has been on their side for 40 fucking years. So fuck them.
They need to put it in the exotic fish market and listen to Gary V and go get couches at yard sales.
Yeah, right.
I bought this couch for $25 and sold it for 60. You can't hustle like me.
Stonks.
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
fuck. We haven't even talked about the biggest news story this week. The Supreme Court has in a shocking announcement, vacated Dwyane Wade of all of his NBA championship rings.
God damn it, fucking Irving Rowe!
Irving Rowe won. They gave him his rings. They found there to be fraudulent play.
Rowe won all the NBA rings.
Yep, and Dwyane Wade was a fraud, so he will lose his ring.
Have they officially gotten rid of it?
No,
dude. You know what I fucking saw?
Leaked.
Dude, you know what I saw driving to work today on like one of the overpasses for the interstate?
What's that?
I saw somebody has spray painted resist with like the fucking the what was that show with the fucking red dress with the fucking white hood?
Oh, The Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah, like a fucking
the show about how things should be.
A Handmaid's Tale fucking character on there, like a resist with that on there. I was like, oh my god, dude, why are you trying to bring Reddit into real life?
That's what I'm saying. It's not the fucking dude. No, so it's not official yet. It's they said that they did confirm that is an accurate paper, that document that they released. They are, unless something changes between now and then, yes, it's going to be repealed.
Well, aren't they just going to try to make it up to states?
It won't be an outright ban. It'll be up to the states.
Yeah, if you want to go get an abortion, man, I mean, like, especially here tourism. In El Paso, dude, just go up to fucking New Mexico, man.
Medical tourism.
Kill your baby.
And I don't think, it's not, even here in Nebraska, I don't see them doing an outright ban. I could see them restricting it, but Nebraska is actually a very bipartisan state. So I don't think
except when it comes to marijuana laws.
Except marijuana, yeah.
Maybe
marijuana.
Omaha too. Maybe Omaha, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd call Nebraska bipartisan.
See, the fact that it's the way the unicameral set up. There's no political parties, and there.
But a lot of that stuff is going to be it's going to fall on the governor, though, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it'll have to pass through the legislature. So any type of ban would have to go through the legislature.
But couldn't the governor just fucking finagle his governor powers like a lot of them do? Like, nope, ban.
They pulled some shady legal shit. They got some goofy judge with the marijuana thing that struck the petition down, and that was the closest. But I mean, he couldn't.
They're doing it with marijuana. You damn sure be sure.
But what happened? So what happened with marijuana was it was a petition to legalize medical marijuana. And the state appealed it, and they found some legal loophole to reject the petition, so it couldn't be brought to the voters.
What was the fucking
governor could not come in and just say, issue an executive order. Like if that were to pass, the medical marijuana thing, the governor couldn't have come in and just said, nope, we're not doing this. Sorry.
The governor couldn't have can the governor come in and do some shit like make abortion like abortion is technically legal by law, but abortion clinics are illegal. You know what I mean? Like some bullshit like that.
No, it would have to go through the legislature. There's very little that the governor can actually do here.
You think that, man, and then they do that shit with the marijuana laws up there, and they fucking fuck over everybody that wants it to be one.
Yeah, but that was different. That wasn't a bill going through the legislature. That was a petition, and honestly, the petition was kind of poorly written from what I remember, or the bill was kind of poorly written from what I remember. So that was just kind of finicky.
I don't know how is Iowa when it comes to those kind of like abortion rights stuff.
Iowa's pretty purple, so Iowa wouldn't see a full ban, and you'd have Colorado. I doubt would ban it.
Colorado's pretty far for somebody to go to abort their child.
Yeah.
Here in El Paso, dude, you can literally go fucking 40 minutes north and Las Cruces and go get an abortion if you fucking really wanted to. So
yeah. What do you think? Do you think they should have repealed it?
I don't know, man. Like I'm kind of pro-life. I know that's not the most popular thing to be, but like I think the whole fucking system is all fucked anyway. You know what I mean? Like I understand why there's all these loopholes when it comes to adoption stuff because of all the pedophiles out there. So like if you wanted to fix that,
public school teachers, yeah,
you'd have to fix the fucking not being able to just beat a fucking convicted pedophile to death with a fucking baseball bat. You know,
which should be the punishment anyway.
But yeah, like a public stoning for pedophile. That's like the only crime that I'm like, yeah, dude, public stoning. Like,
well, I don't know. See, I feel like I represent the majority of the country with my opinion, or maybe more so it represents me. Like I don't think it should be outright illegal. I think you should have it's in the first trimester or something. But when you get to a certain point, man, it's like when you're 6, 7, 8, 9 months pregnant, you can birth that baby and it can come out alive. I'll be straight up. I do not under any, unless like it's literally a life or death situation for the mother. Under any circumstances, believe that you should be able to abort a kid when you're 7 months pregnant. You've had plenty of time to decide if you don't want it. I've always
thought that the fucking life or death situation is like a cop out for people.
It is because it's not very common.
That's not what it happens. What it happens is it's like the 19-year-old girl, the 20-year-old girl that fucking lets her boyfriend.
That's 99% of the cases.
Yeah, lets her boyfriend come in her, and she doesn't want to fucking.
Well, it felt good at the time.
Her parent, so she.
Or her parents find out the baby's going to be black.
Well, no, I mean because the parents can't make it, like if they if they try to force you to get an abortion for that, like that's supposed to be like super illegal. Like,
oh yeah, I mean that's
yeah,
but it's I mean, and there's shitty men that pressure their girlfriends or wives or whatever to get abortions too, and that's
it's the fucking only girl I've ever known that actually got an abortion, and this girl is a fucking mess, but she had like an abusive boyfriend that she got pregnant with, and she's a hyper conservative chick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like know her anymore. Like I've figured out all this shit about her, and I was like,
yeah.
But like, she got an abortion because she didn't want to raise this like abusive boyfriend's child.
Because the baby would grow up to beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, man. I was just like, you're a fucking mess. And like, she was like telling me about how like conservative values she has, and then she's like, but then I got an abortion. I was like, what?
What? You did
girl?
What?
Like, I think you're just like.
And then I wouldn't fuck the tranny.
Yeah, right. I was just like, what, dude? Like, it seems to me like you don't really have a whole lot of values, and you're just kind of like a fucking preservation.
She's a TikTok conservative.
Yeah, she's just trying to fucking self-persevere, man. She's just trying to fucking live her life,
Which is all everyone's doing, and I can't, it's like I said, I think that under some circumstances, or like early on, I don't have an issue. When you're looking at the first trimester, 3-4 months into it, But like it's like I said, man, when it's 7, 8, 9 months pregnant, come on. You've had
at the end of the
time to
day, it's
decide.
like not my opinion isn't gonna fucking matter.
It's not gonna
It's
change
like, I'm not
nothing.
gonna get an abortion, you know what I mean? And nobody that I'm gonna be with is gonna get an abortion. And that's really all you can do.
Right.
But like I there's two things. I hate when people like try to only say that it's a women's rights thing because it's not. It's
men can get pregnant too. It's 20.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be a fucking bigot, bitch. Like, come on. Only those with uteruses. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Civilians can't have opinions on military law then too, dude. If I could if you're not if you're not in the military, don't be telling me I can't murder civilians.
That's
dude.
my thing is if that's really the game y'all want to play, fine. Keep it. Keep your abortions, but if you don't own a gun, if you don't own a gun, you can't say a goddamn thing about gun control.
Moms can't make the fucking the child support laws then because at least when it comes to men, they can't make the laws for it. Sorry, bitch. If you don't pay more in taxes than you benefit from in the services provided by taxes, you don't get to say anything about welfare laws. Like how deep do you want to take this? How long do you want to play this game? Sorry, we're all in this shit together, unfortunately, and we all get to have opinions on shit because it all affects us. And then two, I think this is the stronger point that I always kind of like will kind of poke holes in people's arguments about it because I just love to do that. Is when people be like, "Oh, we don't want children being born into fucking bad, into a fucking broken family." And I'm just like, dude, go. Okay, with that argument, I want you to go tell some like the kids in the foster system now. Go to them and be like, "You would have been better aborted, bro. Like,
right? Well,
you would have been way better off if you had just never existed."
No, I hate that argument because I've known people that were adopted, and I'm like,
I know
you're literally telling those
kids that
you're
are
literally telling those people that they'd be better off dead. That's what you're saying.
You're by saying that you're saying like you're just making this logical fucking line that the people in the foster care system are better off aborted.
Right.
Is that what you're saying? Like,
right.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. I was like, then what are you saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, clarify that idea then.
Yeah. Well, I saw an argument the other day, and I've seen this reciprocated a few times. The argument was that as long as that fetus, the fact that the fetus couldn't survive without the mother, gives the mother the right to abort it up to the 9 months into pregnancy. I'm like, well, a 3-year-old couldn't survive without its mother. Can she kill her 3-year-old?
My 2-year-old can't survive without me, dude. Does that give me the legal right? Like, no.
Like, how do you where does this? If that's your logic, my dog can't survive without me. Can I just kill it? Like what? That'd be animal
legally
abuse.
You can.
Not even fucking humans. It'd be animal abuse. Not if I just killed it for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, like what? How deep do you want to? It's the same thing. How far do you want to take this game? Because I think it was Rogan made up a point because Rogan was saying, no, I don't think you should be able to abort your kid at 8 or 9 months pregnant. And the guy's like, well, the guy he was talking to goes, well, what do you remember from when you were a fetus? And he goes, nothing. But what do you remember from when you were 2? That doesn't mean you can kill a 2-year-old.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes in that argument, man. And like I understand.
There's a lot of holes in all the arguments.
I just like I understand that like having a child is like fucking like completely just a ton of work, and it's way funner to just not have any kids and fucking just be whatever, do whatever your shit with that. Because like, dude, it's a ton of work. Like, it's not like it was 100 years ago where like you lived on a farm and you needed to have 10 kids to help you take care of the farm. Yeah, dude. Like, kids aren't cheap.
Goddamn
labor.
Abe Lincoln repealed all the slavery laws.
Well, like, dude, children aren't like cheap labor sources now. So like, there's no reason to have a kid other than like a fucking like
you want to start a family,
active benefit. Yeah, and it's like that's really expensive, man. Like there's no fucking pros other than like the emotional fucking like the emotional pros you get from it. You know what I mean? And like emotional pros aren't very easy to measure with numbers. So it's like I get it. But at the end of the day, dude, like, are you okay with a kid getting fucking aborted or not? Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And it's like that. Fuck, man. It's there's no good way to approach it.
There really isn't. I don't think that. I think the pro-life and pro-choice is one of those arguments where it's like, both sides have like fucking have points to be said about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate when one side is like completely just totally dismissive of the other side, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's how it is.
It really is. I think more so with any other fucking argument, dude. Maybe not anymore, like with like trans rights stuff. I don't know, man, but like, dude, it's pretty fucking black or white.
If you don't let a grown man use the same locker room, as your daughter, you're a bigot. Okay. Like,
Yeah, right.
you didn't know that? That's fucking.
You know what, dude? I honestly, if some fucking city place wanted to have that as a rule, I would just find a private
I just wouldn't
institution
go
that
there.
wouldn't do it. Yeah, I would just
I
wouldn't
don't
go.
think the
And then
government should
they'll do
sponsor
the go
that.
woke, go broke shit, and they'll just lose all their funding.
It
from
is. What
people
did
not going to it. Like,
what did Trump say? Everything woke goes to shit. He ain't fucking wrong, dude. It all falls apart. Like,
it's because the fucking the Johnny fucking regular man, like the guys, just regular fucking people in the country, like aren't really, like they're honestly like afraid to speak out what they actually feel about it because they know it's gonna come with really bad repercussions.
yeah.
So they just don't like support financially and just be. They're like quietly fucking rejecting it, basically.
And that's
You know what I mean?
exactly it. And I think a lot of people. So I'm seeing that a lot of people are saying that the Roe versus Wade thing will cost the Republicans taking the House or Senate in the midterms.
No, it won't.
And I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, like it might hurt them a little bit. It may not be as strong, but when you look at the numbers, so 6 in 10 Americans support, just over 6 in 10 Americans support abortion to some degree in this country, right? So you got to think the 40% that don't support it at all were already Republican voters, right? 40% that do support it are blue hardline Democrats that are going to vote blue no matter who. So you're really competing for two people, right? Those two people in the middle. And I'm one of those people in the middle. And I can tell you that when election day comes in November and gas is $8 a gallon, I'm not going to give a fuck about Roe versus Wade. And I think the majority of those people aren't going to. Most people vote off how much money is in their pocket. And if they feel that the party in power is ultimately responsible, whether they're right or wrong in that assumption, they're going to punish that party for how bad things are.
Is it going to change anything in California? No. Is it going to change anything in Kentucky? No. Is it going to change something in Ohio where there's like moderates? Maybe.
Pennsylvania.
We'll see,
maybe.
Yeah, we'll see how the people support it there. Like,
I'm convinced they may be overplaying their hand. I think that while some people support it to some degree, yes, how far did they support it? You know what I mean? I think real
hardline blue stance that like the fucking woke mob, the woke church stance is like
3 weeks after birth.
Not only that, but fucking supported by state-run health insurance.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, are you insane? Like, you really want to have like tax money pay for fucking like
exactly
like 6-month abortions, dude? That's like the blue stance. And if you don't think that, then you hate women, dude.
And that,
if you don't want your tax money going to like aborting babies at 9 months, dude, you're a fucking bigot, bitch.
You hate women, but also
canceled.
Men can get pregnant.
Yeah,
so, but no,
people with uteruses.
Yeah,
if you don't support a trans man getting raped and giving a fucking birth to a child, dude, and not having you get paid for that, you are a bigot.
You're a piece of shit. You should die. But no, that's exactly it's how far. I think they're kind of overplaying their hand because it's like you said, they overcorrect on the wokeness, go woke, go broke. So it's like, are they overplaying their hand? Yeah, sure. Most Americans support it to some degree, but what degree? That's what we don't know, right? Like when you push hard because what they're going to do is they're going to overcorrect, and you're going to see the crazies because the loudest people are the ones.
The crazies are the ones that talk loudest. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to talk about how, it should be legal after the birth of the child if the mother changes her mind, and the government should fund it and all. And that's going to turn people off a lot more than Roe versus Wade getting repealed and them just saying, hey, it's not illegal, but the states can decide now. The states can pass laws. That's going to turn people off a lot
It's
more.
kind of almost like how it is now anyway. Like, I don't think you can get an abortion in Texas right now anyway.
You can, but it's very, very difficult.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's basically already like that.
Yeah.
So, like, and the places that you would know that you could probably get an abortion anyway, honestly, it's going to make it easier because now, like, the fucking California can do all their fucking have the tax money pay for it at 6 months bullshit that they're probably going to do. You know what I mean?
Maybe I'm just not a retard and I just don't understand, but how do people get in the position where they need an abortion? Like, because think about it. Plan B is like $45, right? If someone comes inside of you, or if you come inside of someone, you know what happened. You didn't use a condom. You didn't finish on your fucking tits. So where did it go? It didn't just disappear into the void. If a condom breaks, you know when it happens. So why the fuck did you? So you can afford a $700 abortion, but you can't afford a $50 Plan B. Like, why?
Condoms are like a 50 cent.
Yeah.
You can buy like
Why?
a 3-pack of
Condoms aren't the
condoms for
best.
like $5.
Condoms aren't the best, but like, why? What happened between point A where he busted
You are
inside of
victim
you,
blaming right now,
and point?
Caleb.
I'm not talking about rape victims. Point
Yeah.
A where he busted inside of you, and point B.
You know,
where
it's
you found
another
out you were
really
pregnant. Why did you not take the very, very cheap and much less invasive options of contraceptives?
You know, it's another fucking really startling stat about abortions is like, I want to look this up to make sure I'm not like spouting bullshit here, but I'm pretty sure I read a stat that like the percentage, like by race, the percentage of abortions performed in the United States are on like black
It's mostly
women.
black people. No, dude, Margaret.
Which I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucked up, man.
No,
I
dude,
think
that
it's
was
like
the
a
design.
crazy amount. It's like 45% or
Dude,
something. Like
Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, was an open neo-Nazi white supremacist. And I'm not, by today's definition, neo-Nazi where you like support lower taxes and oppose gun control. I'm talking neo-Nazi like hated minorities.
It's
She
like
was
always
a legitimate
poor people too. It's like
Yeah.
three. So I'm gonna look up some stats off of like from 2014. So I realized this is a little dated, but it says like no racial ethnic group made up the majority. 39% were white, 28% were black, 25% were Hispanic,
which when you
6%
consider
were
that,
Asian.
when you consider that black people make up like 12% of the population,
That's pretty insane.
More than double their. So there's a reason. I mean, like I said, Margaret Sanger was a legitimate racist, a Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
She openly admits in her writings that they built Planned Parenthood in poor neighborhoods, in poor black neighborhoods, for the purpose of eugenics, because she wanted to limit the amount of black babies that were born. That's
3/4 of abortion patients were low income.
Right.
49% living at less than the federal poverty level, and 6% living just slightly above it.
Right.
The vast majority of abortion patients, 94%, were straight. So that means 4% identified as bisexual, fewer than 1% is lesbian, gay, or homosexual, and 1% is something other than straight.
Gay. How would a gay guy get pregnant?
No, a gay girl could get like raped. So
okay. Well, no, I mean, I get lesbian, like chicks will get fucked and then turn lesbian. Like I know that happens, but I was like,
no, yeah, like there, so fewer than 1%. So that was like all fucking 20 of them that got raped. Like that can happen. Somebody could get raped.
Sure, and that does happen.
Or they could sleep with a guy. You know what I mean? Because they're not fully lesbian, but they just identify as it. You know what I mean, or something like that.
Full lesbian.
I don't know, man. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there, dude. But abortion patients were less likely to have no health insurance coverage in 2014 than in 2008. Likely because of the Affordable Care Act. 35% of patients had Medicaid coverage, 31% had private insurance, and 3% had insurance. I mean, that's not really that crazy considering that.
I mean, you're in the circumstances you want to abort a kid. You're probably not financially well, you know.
Yeah, and then 53% paid for their abortion out of pocket. So, and they say the majority, but that's a very small majority. So Medicaid was the second most common method of payment used by 24% of patients.
So taxpayers are funding it. Yeah.
And 2014, I think they stopped that though, didn't they?
Trump might have. I don't know. I don't know the statistics on it. But I'm just like what I said about Margaret Sanger. Like, if you're gonna talk about the founding fathers being these horrible racists.
Oh, okay. So this is gone. This statistic has changed now since 2019. Is the way that this statistics are pulled up by what's this fucking website? Is KFF.org, Women's Health Policy. I don't know what KFF stands for. I mean, like probably something foundation.
Keep fucking foundation.
Yeah, literally, right. So this seems like a pretty like
illegal. So keep on fucking.
It seems like a pretty professional fucking like source here.
Yeah.
So according to 2019, the percentage in the United States now that has abortions is 33% white, 38% black.
Oh my God.
7% other, and 21% Hispanic. So I went down in percentage wise for Hispanics, stayed about the same as white.
And significantly higher for black people.
Yeah, it's like that's probably because of long-term Medicaid, probably. So it's like, damn, dude, like we're like making
predominantly
these
black areas.
Yeah, making less black kids. Like that's not fucking cool, man.
That's what Planned Parenthood started, was a eugenics organization. We can talk about what it does now, and but that's fine. But I'm just saying, for the people that want to cancel the founding fathers because Thomas Jefferson owned slaves, let's fucking clean your own room before you go after other people. You know what I mean? Let's talk about Planned Parenthood if that's really how we want to do it.
As data are reported voluntarily by providers to state or area health departments, information may be incomplete and results in undercounting abortions when calculating rates and ratios in some states. So this might have been underrepresented in certain areas. So data from 28 reporting areas excluding 23 reporting areas. So excludes California, excludes Colorado, excludes Hawaii, excludes Illinois, excludes Iowa, excludes Louisiana, excludes Maine, excludes Maryland, excludes Massachusetts, excludes Missouri, excludes Nebraska, surprisingly enough, excludes New Hampshire, New York City, New York State, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Washington, Wisconsin, Wyoming.
What state does it not exclude?
Well, look at the fucking majority of those states are very, very hard blue states that did not report the race or ethnicity. Yeah, so that leads me to believe that the data probably swings to more where it's showing that more black people are getting it and they don't want to admit it, which is fucking horrible, man. Like we don't need less minority children in the fucking United States. No. Honestly, there's an argument to be made that we don't need less children in the United States in general. Like a lot of people think that we're going to have a population shortage in like 80 years. We're going to
have a significant population shortage in the coming years, a significant one. And the only thing we can hope at this point is that automation sorts things out.
Hopefully, and probably will. Humans are pretty good at
and I think that'll be the natural balance, because there's a lot of concerns that automation is going to take a lot of people's jobs, but there's also a lot of concerns that there aren't going to be enough people to have all the jobs. Well,
honestly, that's probably contributing to it already. With like I said, because people don't need to have huge families to run farms. No, they can do it with machinery. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly perfect.
I grew up in a rural community, and like most people had like 2 or 3 kids. Like they didn't have a lot of kids. It wasn't common for people to have 20 fucking kids,
unless they're Mormon.
No, I mean, I don't know any Mormons, so I know one Mormon person, and she doesn't have 20 kids. She has just
3. Has 12. Oh.
She has 3. That's not that crazy.
So I gotta show you this video of this this teacher on TikTok, this public school teacher here that I saw today. This is, remember, they're not grooming your children. Here you go.
My kids from last year are now in 5th grade, and they come visit me almost every day after school. And a lot of them are queer because I am queer. And
you love to hear it. A lot of my kids from last year are queer because I am queer. That's.
Is that like a guy that's dressed up like a girl?
That's a woman. She's not an attractive woman.
So, and they figured it out, and so I've become.
She just looks like a pretty regular chick. I wouldn't say she's not unattractive. I wouldn't say she's not attractive, but I don't know. She's regular.
I think it's the crazy eyes that make her not attractive. I've gazed into the crazy eyes a few too many times, and when you stare into the abyss stares back at you. So.
How did they play it? They use things like, this person looks like a lesbian baddie who's going to come over and make you dinner. Well, which one of these characters is a lesbian baddie that's going to come over and make you dinner? Oh, Olivia is? Oh, great. Which character just looks gay? Well, meet Mike.
Wait, isn't that homophobic to say that he looks gay because he has a beret? I was told that was bullying.
Do people even play? People don't play. Do people really play fucking like Guess Who like that? Like,
no,
do they really?
No, I'm sure she's making this shit up.
Or she heard like 2 kids doing it, 2 smart asses doing it, and now it's like every kid does it that way.
When I was that's
some shit I would have done when I was a kid. Man.
Well, there's clearly indoctrination.
Does he look like he's upside down in his car payments, dude?
Well, okay, so only the black people on the
hell no, dude. There's so many fucking white people that be doing that shit. Yeah, I'd be like almost exclusively white people because they weren't giving the black people the car loans in the first.
Oh yeah.
place.
Oh, you didn't say buy here, pay here. Loan. Excuse me.
Yeah. They were like they were looking at the black people trying to apply their loans and like, no, they can't get this. Like,
probably has repos, but no. So I'm like, I can remember being in 5th grade, right? So you couldn't have killed me at that point. But I can remember being in 5th grade.
Oh, you
and
think you couldn't have been aborted, but in Maryland, probably, dude.
California, yep, still not too late.
California isn't even like California is bad, but dude, like Maryland and Massachusetts
Oregon,
are like just as fucking bad.
Washington,
Washington, yeah, they're just as bad, dude.
Worse, probably, but Vermont. But yeah, no. So I'm like I remember being in 5th grade. Nobody talked about being queer or being trans. This is new. Kids don't think about those things, right?
I remember when I was
crushes
in 5th
on each
grade,
other. They're starting to figure it out. You can tell who's a little gay in 5th grade.
Well, so I'm going to say this. I remember in 5th grade that there was a rumor that there was going to be a Halloween dance.
Yeah.
Ooh, for all the 5th graders, right? And like people were all like, I remember like me and my friends were all like, dude, I don't want to do that shit, man. We gotta ask a girl, blah. Like,
right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like you're fucking 10 years old
still.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not interested in girls when you're 10. I would think there was like one kid that had like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I remember just everyone kind of being like, all right, man. Like you do your
like
thing,
I remember it was in 6th grade. It was like you get like a girl, like middle school. I went like the school district I went to 6th grade was the first year in middle school. And I remember like you'd talk to girls and stuff, and it almost felt like it was more out of like, you're in middle school now. You're expected to do
I had
that.
a hard time with that shit when I was at that point, like 6th, 7th grade,
I.
man. Well,
So
because
did
I was a year younger than everybody else at my school. So like, you know what I mean? You're like I was like 11 in 6th grade. And like feeling all these other kids that are like, some of them like almost about to be 13
Teenagers,
over the summer and shit. And you're like, dude, I'm fucking 11, man. I just want to fucking play Star Wars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do any of this shit.
7th grade was when I first started like actively having things for girls, you know, and it like felt like natural and not just like this is expected of me now that I have a locker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that was the age for me. But even then, there was no weird obsession with gender or queer theory. Again, you could tell who was gay and nobody really cared, but like there was no weird obsession with, you know, non-binary and gender as a spectrum. This is all manufactured. All of this is manufactured by media, by social media, by the teachers. Like this,
I think social media is probably the worst culprit because I think social media makes all these other stuff go like this, dude.
This new generation of teachers is scary, though. There's so many of them that are just openly talking about how they basically groom their students. Like they posted, like when libs of TikTok got shut down, they said that they were doxing teachers. I'm like, dude, they weren't doxing anybody. All libs of TikTok was doing was they would take a video that the teacher made public. They wouldn't edit it or anything. They would just share it. The teacher put this shit under their name. They put it on their TikTok and admitted to doing all this shit. And the parents in the school district saw it and got upset. That's not doxing. They doxed themselves. They put it under their fucking government.
Think of it this
name.
way. TikTok's a Chinese-run company, and it benefits the Chinese government when we have all this bullshit going on in the U.S. So, of course, they're going to kick it off.
Absolutely. There's algorithm. There's been studies that show when kids in China log on to TikTok, they learn things about engineering, about astronomy, about mathematics. That's what the algorithm pushes. When kids in the United States log on to TikTok, they learn things about gender theory. That's a fucking fact. It pushes that shit because it wants to indoctrinate kids.
It destabilizes the country. That's why.
It divides people. Yeah.
It destabilizes. That's
dude, China's not going to go to physical war with us.
Yeah.
They're gonna do this shit like that. They're gonna fucking divide us about stupid shit and make stuff up about gender. Like, do you know how many kids are going around talking about how they're non-binary and stuff now? That's not even a real
honestly
thing.
I don't hear about, like, I have like nephews and stuff that are around that age, and I don't hear them talking about that kind of shit too much.
So I have more personal. I'll tell you off air about it, but yeah. So I mean, it's happening though. Trust me.
I'm sure it is. No, I'm sure it is. Like, I'm sure it is. It's got to be happening. Otherwise, people wouldn't be saying it was happening.
Now, is it happening to the degree that people say? Probably not.
Maybe
but
not.
It's an issue. It's a real thing. And I truly do. If your child, I'm going to give you advice, parents out there. If your child tells you they're non-binary, don't react. Don't do anything.
Okay.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them. That's great, honey. I love you just the way you are. I'm glad you're being your true self, because they're not being their true self. And On the flip side, don't freak the fuck out and tell them it's not real and you're full of shit and you're going through a phase. Just go two-step process. I promise you, because I've done this myself and it works. Two-step process when a kid tells you they're non-binary. Step 1, what's that? They'll explain it to you. Step 2, oh, okay. Leave it at that. They want attention. They don't care if it's positive attention. They don't care if it's negative attention. They just want attention.
Did she ever read that book? Did she ever, or not read? I mean, like read the book, but did you ever hear about that book where the one girl was like researching about why there's so many more transgender girls? It says like all
she was on Rogan. Yeah.
I knew about that book before she was on Rogan. So when I saw her on Rogan, I was like, yo, dude, like that's cool. But she's like talking about in the book, like how it's all the girls that used to have eating disorders are like now the ones that are transgender.
Well, it's because you get these girls that are socially awkward and they don't have a lot of friends.
They're like autistic. There's a lot of them are autistic too.
Not autistic.
No, like a lot of them are autistic.
Asperger's, spectrum.
Asperger's is autistic.
Yeah. But not like can't talk autistic.
No, like a lot of them are high functioning autistic kids.
Yeah. So like you get these girls that are socially awkward and they have trouble making friends and getting parents' approval and shit, and they find this thing on the internet and it's like, oh, well, my teachers and the staff at school and my friends, they're bigots if they don't agree with me here.
Maybe no, they're just like maybe I'm like this. Maybe I'm like this because I'm a girl, dude. Maybe I'm like this because maybe I'm like this because I'm a boy. Yeah, in a girl's body,
and
maybe that's what it is.
Like I have said it half jokingly. I will sell crack if it means my children do not go to public school. I'm not Catholic. I don't agree with the Catholics on a lot of things. I don't agree with how they fund their religion. I think running your religion like a fucking used car dealership, high pressure sales tactics for donations is fucked up. I don't agree with their takes on like gay marriage. I don't agree with that. But
a lot of churches though are like
they don't care. No,
a lot of churches are openly like reverse that stance too.
Anymore.
Like, even the Pope in the Catholic Church was like, nah, it's not like that anymore. Like,
yeah, they've evolved, and I'll give them that. But like, what I don't have to worry about a Catholic teacher doing is telling my 6-year-old daughter that she might be a boy. I don't have to worry about that.
You only have to worry about some messed up stuff if it was a boy. So
yeah. Well, to quote Norm Macdonald. The only profession that fucks more kids than priests is public school teachers. So
that's true.
Lesser of two evils at that point, man. You're just rolling the dice. You know what I mean? Like what do you?
I think about my time back at public school, man. Growing up, I'm like, God, what a fucking cesspool, man.
It was terrible, and it's even worse now.
God, I can only imagine what it's gonna be like for kids going there in 20 years. Who knows? We'll see how it goes in 20 years, man. We'll see.
I think. I do.
Things are you're starting to see a lot more people fight back against this shit now than you did like 2-3 years ago, because now like regular people are starting to wake up.
Yep. And that's how
see that it's a problem.
The United States does this every 20 to 30
Well,
years.
I'm just worried, man, that there's going to be an overcorrection.
That's exactly what I was.
I'm worried that there's going to be an overcorrection. Is it like, dude, in the 90s, man? Like
satanic
you had all these
panic,
satanic panic and shit, dude. Like a lot of my favorite hobbies were fucking set back
Marilyn
20,
Manson,
30
Dungeons
years.
and Dragons, all that.
They were
shit
dude. One of my favorite hobbies was set back 20, 30 years and stigmatized because of that shit. You know what I mean?
All that stuff was evil. Yeah, everything.
Video games.
Pokemon was the devil. Yeah,
dude. Like,
and now society saw. So what happens is you run to the other side and be like, protect us from that, because society saw how crazy that was, and we ran to the pendulum swung hard to the left, and we go, protect us from the crazy right wing Christian moms against hard rock, So we
that's
ran
like
to
a
them,
meme. You tell that to anybody, and they'll be like, "Haha, yeah, fuck those people, man."
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, we ran, protect us from the far right Christian moms, and well, now a 55-year-old man can use the same locker room as your 6-year-old daughter, and if you got a problem with that, well, you're a fucking bigot.
Now,
that's
now,
what happened.
Eventually, we're going to be able
to
give it like maybe another couple of years from now. Now we'll be able to be like, save me from the fucking the left. The purple-haired moms that are trying to make their sons into girls, like, you know what I mean?
Yep, and then they'll bring back slavery.
I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, no, I don't think it'll go that hard. It'll
honestly probably be like the more that they try to push to the left with it, and the more harder the fucking swing back's going to be. And then like 10 years from now, dude, it's gonna be real rough to be a trans kid.
Well,
Man, like an actual like fucking like 19, 20-year-old that's like, yo, dude, I'm going with this shit. You know what I mean? I've been doing this shit since I was 10. Like,
yeah, I think it's fucked up because like I can speak for myself, man. In the last 2 years, I've gone further to the right. I'll openly admit that. And it's just on certain things, but like I look at how society's gone and I'm like, fuck.
That's pretty normal though. A lot of times you tend to get a little more conservative as you get older.
And that's what I actually, some dipshit tried to sort of Facebook argument with me, and he's like 19 years old, and he goes, well, you should read that, because I said that I made the point that leftists hate the police until they want someone to enforce gun control or COVID lockdowns. Then you need to respect the officers, right? And this guy went off on me about like, I guarantee I'm more pro-gun. Or he's like, every leftist I know is more pro-gun than you. I was like, oh yeah, try me.
Are you sure about that, friend?
He goes, well, I think felons should be able to own firearms. How do you feel? I said, I think felons should be able to own fighter jets. And
I think felons should be given guns.
He's like, well, what? He's like, well, you're a fucking boot. He's like, so do you believe in or do you think we should abolish the police, or are you a bootlicker like whoever the original commenter was? And I'm like, well, first off, I'm not going to answer your retard loaded question, man. That's just stupid. Second off, if you're asking if I believe we should abolish the police, no. I think we should have a police force to arrest rapists, murderers, child traffickers, help find missing people. Yes, I think we should
combat organized crime.
Yeah, pull over drunk drivers. Yeah, combat organized crime. Yes, I think we should have a police force. I think a lot of the problems with policing in America today lie in the laws we ask them to enforce. The drug war, gun control, COVID lockdowns. When people have issues with police, it usually boils down to the laws that we're asking them to enforce. And if we stopped asking them to enforce those laws and just send them back to being our friendly neighborhood peace officers, well, I think then, yeah, you'd still have some problems. It's not going to be a perfect system, but it's better than no police at all.
I think the biggest problem comes from when police are trying to prevent crimes, not stop them.
Yes.
Like when they're actively trying to prevent crime is when they start fucking finding it when it's not there. You know what I mean?
That's
looking
exactly
for it in places that it's not there. And like, yeah, okay, they'll make it safer, but like at what cost?
Yeah.
I've seen like the pro police people be like, look at the violent crime rates, look at this and this and this and this. And I'm like, yeah, but what fucking cost did your guys make that rate lower?
And that's what I saw. I actually watched a video today. It was a cop has a podcast and he does training for other cops. And I was just interested. So I just watched it, and he was talking about things to look for. And he said, most cops are just looking for speeding tickets, expired plates, DUIs and shit like, and that's all great. But like, you should be looking for actual suspicious activity as the people in the vehicles. And some of the examples he listed for signs of potential illegal or suspicious activity. One of them was if they look at you real quick and then look away. And then the other one was if they refuse to look at you in their car. So I'm like, okay, so if they look at you or they don't look at you, they're breaking the law.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
this is the problem
because
we've
like,
turned the police against the people.
Here's the thing: is like
the issue.
Here's the thing too: is like everybody gets nervous when they're fucking pulled over by the police. I'm the whitest motherfucker ever, man. I see a cop drive by me, and I'm immediately like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I have not touched a drug in 6 months. I have papers for my firearms. Like my plates, my driver's license, everything is up to date. I have no outstanding warrants. Cop pulls up to me or next to me in traffic. I'm fucking nervous.
Dude, I'm scared as fuck.
And I'm a white
next to me. Because it's like, dude, they're going to fucking they're going to give you on some law that you don't even know is a fucking law.
That's what you're worried about, yeah.
They're like, your fucking taillight needs to be this particular color. It was a law that switched 2 years ago.
It's the wrong shade of orange.
It's the wrong shade of orange. Yeah, I'm going to have to give you an $80 fine for that. You can challenge this in court. Yeah, have a good day, sir.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's fucking great. Even if he just pulls me over and lets me off with a warning, dude, I'm like busy as fuck, man. That's like a fucking half hour of time.
It's like I've gotten pulled over for a fix-it ticket, literally because my license plate was in my wing because the car dealership I bought my vehicle from a couple years ago did not give me the screws to screw my license plate in, so I stuck it in the windshield, the front windshield. I had one on the back, and they got me for that.
That's unlawful?
Made me late for work. Why?
Well, why they say that's unlawful? Because it's if you get into a car accident, that fucking license plate will go thing and cut your fucking head off.
That makes sense. Probably lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's happened where if it's like right in front of your passenger seat, like somebody fucking, not even your fault accident, somebody fucking runs into you like a fender bender or something. That's enough force for that fucking windshield, that license plate to fly right into their chest or some shit.
Good news for you guys. Take that license plate off your fucking windshield. If you
Yeah,
haven't
dude.
already.
So like, there's a reason for that, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if they're pulling you over for that,
They're
still
looking for other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they'll give you that ticket, but they're hoping to God that you got a fucking
that's
joint
like
or
what people
man.
don't realize is when they ask you for your registration for your vehicle and your insurance and everything, they don't need that. They don't. They want you to open your glove box because they want to see if there's something else in there. It's the only reason they ask you. You know how I know that? Because I've been pulled over. He pulled me over. I gave him my license was up to date. He said, can I get your insurance and registration? I said, yes, it's in the glove box, but I also have my firearm in the glove box. Here's my permit to carry. And he goes, okay, don't worry about opening that. I got everything I need from your driver's license. So they get your license plate. They get your driver's license. They pull your driver's license up. He has no warrants. He's a registered driver, whatever. They pull your plate numbers up. Okay, perfect. He doesn't have any, everything's registered. Here's the insurance. They got everything they need just from your plate numbers and your driver's license. All they want is to see if a joint rolls out or if you got an illegal gun in there or whatever.
Baggie falls out.
Yeah. Baggie full of coke falls out. So
I saw, and this could be completely fake because it was just something on Reddit, but it was kind of a funny story. Somebody said where they got pulled over, but they had like homemade catnip that somebody had given them.
Yeah.
And like a baggie of homemade catnip falls out of their glove compartment. And the guy's like, dude, I fucking swear to God that this is just catnip. And like they had the cops come over and they like tested it or whatever. And they all just started laughing. But I was like, oh man, God. You just ruined their day. They were hoping so fucking bad they could have got you with fucking half ounce of fucking pot in your car, dude.
Yep. Here's a $50 fine, you piece of shit.
More like fucking in possession. Now you're going to a fucking
intent
felony.
To distribute. Yeah.
Dude. They're gonna fucking
you were
felony
intending
on your
to
ass,
sell
man.
this dime bag of weed, sir.
Even just in possession, dude. Like possession is a fucking crime you'll go to jail for maybe only a year for, but like you're fucked, man. Like,
but so to my original point, I told the guy, I'm like, yes, I do believe that we should have some type of police force. Like, in my experience, everyone I know that says abolish the police would last about 15 minutes without them. You know what I mean? Like they're not strong people. They're not usually intelligent people. And the guy told me to read the Communist Manifesto, and then I would figure it out. And I'm a bootlicker, and I'm like, you know what, man?
The fuck is communism is an economic system, dude.
Right.
Like,
it's nothing. Guess what, homie?
The fucking communists still have police.
With that police, yeah.
The communists still have police. You dumb.
I was like, look, man, I've been your age. The whole anarchy and abolish the police and everything thing sounds cool.
Anytime somebody's like unironically like an ANCAP or an anarchist, I always tell them like, okay, cool, man. Me and my fucking homies that are way stronger than you,
we're
will
just gonna
enslave
take
your ass.
Shit.
No, like not even that. I'm gonna enslave you, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna fucking turn you into a fucking sex slave.
Yeah.
How about that,
for
dude?
Fun. I don't even want to
fucking dude. Like if the law wasn't there, dude, I mean like this isn't true, but like I just say it just to fucking deflate their argument. I'm like, if the law wasn't there, telling me to, dude, I'd be a slaver, man. Me and my homies would roll up with our weapons and enslave you.
And that,
what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do about it? You can shoot me, but you can't shoot my 20 other homies that are like-minded with me, bro.
Yeah, you're not gonna shoot us all, right? Like,
what are you gonna do, man? Now they're gonna fuck you even harder because you just killed me. You know what I mean?
And that's my thing is like the ANCAP thing and all that's the abolish the police and all that. It sounded cool. I told him, I'm like, bro, I've been your age. I get it. It sounded cool, but like, I'll tell you what happened. I grew up. I got older than 21. I moved out of my parents' house. I started a family of my own. And you know what I realized is that the world has a lot of fucking gray in it. In fact, it's got more gray than it does black and white. Like on two extremes of each issue.
It does.
Yes. On two, when they're on the black issue or on the black side and and not racial, but just black and white is a yin yang type thing.
Racist.
Yeah. No, I mean like on almost any issue, not any issue, but almost any issue. The reality is somewhere in the middle.
What issues are there not?
Pedophilia.
Is there? There's some black and white when it comes to an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean,
Exactly,
okay,
dude,
so
like-
some issues I should say there's more than. Okay, what about Muslims beheading gay people?
You know, sometimes they're asking for. No, I'm just kidding. Like, no, that's like. Well, I feel like that's like a fucking.
That's like, yeah,
That's like
another-
a farther issue of like capital punishment.
Yeah,
Capital punishment
that's-
is a black and white. Is not
Yeah.
black and white. by
No,
any
no,
means,
literally
so-
nothing is black and white. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's what you figure out.
Sometimes
So,
they're
yeah,
fucking asking for it, dude. You know?
But that's I mean that's what it comes down to is most situations in life are gray. Just about all of them, if not all of them. And when you get older,
Especially when it comes to the law.
yeah,
dude.
and you actually just have to start dealing with shit and living like within society, you know, you start to realize how little black and white there actually is in life. Like everyone's a hardline ANCAP libertarian until they get that dickhead landlord. You know what I mean? Like
Everybody's a fucking libertarian until the fucking video game companies is making their kids addicted to gambling.
yeah, you know, everyone's well. I mean, that's a good thing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, no,
Until their
everyone's
kids are stealing their fucking parents' credit cards to gamble on fucking loot boxes. and
right.
video
Well,
games.
it's like we were talking about the pendulum swing. You know,
Yeah.
you can be hard. You fucking I'm liberal, I'm progressive until your fourth grader comes home and says, "Daddy, I think I'm a boy now." Like that. Now that might change your perspective on
It
shit.
goes to the same with conservatives when they're like, I mean, that happened with this girl, dude. You're fucking hard anti-abortion, and then your fucking a kid's abusive boyfriend gets your daughter pregnant.
Yeah, or what if you're just conservative and your son's like, "Dad, I'm gay." What are you gonna do? You've raised this
Honestly,
kid for 20 some
anymore.
years. What are you gonna
Honestly, anymore, I don't feel like that. Like
do? In the
some
South,
kid
it's an
telling.
issue.
Well, like I mean, even most people, I feel like even in the South, dude, because I know a lot of people from the South that don't give a shit about that.
Yeah,
Younger
people,
Honestly, somebody being like your fucking 14-year-old son coming out and being like, "I'm gay," you're like, "Oh, dude, I'm glad." Like, thankfully, you're not fucking coming out and saying you're a chick, man. Like,
right. No, literally,
like, yeah.
seriously. Transgenders have done more to advance the acceptance of gay people.
Yeah, you're like,
in this
you're just
country.
gay, okay? Like,
It's like,
okay.
oh, thank God. Like I
Still
thought you were
use a
gonna tell me
condom,
you wanted
dude.
to chop your dick off. Fucking
Still-
thank God.
Still use a condom, please. Like,
Yeah. I mean, AIDS is a thing. Ask Easy E. Okay, like it's still out there. But no, it's much
there's a scientific
preferable.
reason too why that's really common with gay men is because it's really commonly transmitted in butt
But
sex. So.
it's harder to get it any other way. But what
Yeah,
I will
it's
say,
like that's the most common way to get it because of like the way that
yeah. And we've done an hour and 20 minutes on this, so we got to wrap
Mhm.
up pretty soon. But
butt sex. That's how we'll
No,
finish it.
what I will say is HIV has a much lower death rate than transgenderism. That's all I'll say. It's not 40%.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got to roll the dice, just go gay, guys. So, fucking Emporia, Kansas. I'll be there Friday the 13th. We're getting fucking lit. I think tickets are selling pretty fast. I have no idea. They just tell me there could be like 3 of them sold, but they tell me it's selling really fast.
It's gonna be the most lit 3-man crowd ever if it's only 3 people.
Dude, they were such big fans. They all bought like 20 tickets each. I'll have a merch line coming soon, so y'all can buy like if you like my comedy or you just want to support. Like I'll have links to that on. I think I'm gonna do. It's called like Bonfire or Campfire, or Shopify, one of the sites. I don't know. I'll have merch dropping soon though. Fuck, what else? There was Friday, May 20th. Promo code BREAD, harmful content comedy. You get $2 off your tickets. We'll have my boy Lavetti Vegas headlining the show.
Nice,
this
man.
month. Super good friend of mine. Fucking great
I
comedian.
bet he's awesome. Great comedian. Great guy. Go out and
Great
see
guy.
him. Yeah.
Yes. Go out, come out and support the First
If you don't,
Amendment.
you're racist.
If you don't, it's because you hate the blacks.
If you
no.
don't, you're basically just yeah.
But no, it's gonna be super fun. So make sure you come out and check that out. Support local comedy. We got a new Wired Pub, not yet, but within the next month or two, will be renamed to Beach House. We have got new ownership. They are still in tight with us. They're cool with us, so they don't give a flying fuck what we say on the stage. So
Hell yeah, man.
as long as we're still making money for them, so come out, keep the First Amendment alive in the Midwest. Come out and check out our show. There ain't many venues that would let us do this type of show. That's all I'll say. Like we're very limited in terms of what we can of where we can do this, and I'm very grateful for how long we've been able to do a show like this. So, do you have anything you want to plug? You're coming up.
I'm
going
to be back up in Omaha, in a month here.
We'll get you on
look
a
around.
show.
Look around. I'll be getting back into doing open mics more frequently because they're just way more. Dude, if you live in Omaha, dude, you guys need to fucking just be so thankful.
Every night. There's one every night.
Omaha is so fucking like good for local comedy. You come down here to El Paso, man, it ain't shit. You go up to Las Cruces, it's not really shit, man. Like, Omaha is such a great city for comedy, man. Like, anybody that doesn't realize how spoiled they are up there, like, realize it, man.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, I think that's all. Oh, vote Scott Zimmerman for governor tomorrow night if you're in Nebraska. So.
And if you're not, just go up there anyway and do it, dude. Like,
just go up there and do it. Yeah, I mean, all my dead relatives are voting for him.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, fucking
imagine, like, in fucking 2 years from now, like, Scott's like actually governor, but it comes out like he was doing all this illegal election fraud shit. It's always the last people you expect, right?
I know,
man?
I got a hold of my mom's mail-in ballot, and she voted for him. So.
That's not real. Like,
no, I did not commit electoral fraud. This is a comedy show. It's all parody on here. Don't believe anything we say. Certainly don't take our legal and financial advice that we've given you.
Oh God, no, don't do that. Don't ever do that ever.
Don't never do that. Like, so all right, guys,
setting you up for ruin, dude.
Yeah. All right.
Deuces, y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
All right.